It's recording already. Yes, it is. I'm gonna share. Okay, I'm gonna share this with you. Give me a sec. Uh-oh. Can you see the program? Are you able to check? Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, teacher.
Thank you for your answers. Well, this is the program of the course. It's designed to be implemented at the beginning of your BA studies. That is the first term. It's called learning strategies, strategies for learning a foreign language. The name is important because you need to dimension what the strategies are and the different concepts for learning languages as a BA, whether language learning, language acquisition, and that will lead you to the discussion of foreign language, second language, mother tongue, and target language. Here you can see the organization of hours regarding the course. We're working online mainly, so most of our online sessions regarding the synchronic approach of the course is going to be focused on theory, and the practice going to be carried out by yourself on two different platforms: Google Drive by means of folders in order to keep track of your own learning, and E- or E-, as you prefer, which is an educational platform for storaging your evidence of work in the course. Know that this course is kind of a workshop. That means that you need to cover every single piece of evidence in an attempt to pass the course. Otherwise, you will have to resit it. And I'm sure you don't want to. You want to succeed at this course and you want to continue with your EBA studies. This is a very important course because it's got a lot of content on discovering yourself and discovering what learning a language is. So this could be a turning point for you to decide and for you to acknowledge and become aware of the reasons why you're learning English as a VA. Some of you have already set your goals, and that's something really helpful. But the reflection, analysis, and self-recognition is always healthy, regardless of your objectives. So this will be a very nice room for discussion, for reflection, for comparison, and for strategies to be developed. Strategies actually could be compared with those abilities you have developed through your education and through your whole life. Well, the requirements of the course are none because this is the beginning of your studies. An English 1 can be covered by means of different procedures that were discussed yesterday in the general meeting with you. So you don't need to worry because it's from the área básica. The course was supposed to be integrated by 20 people maximum and 14 minimum, but this is not reality. Actually, we are for about 30 people, sharing room. That actually has pedagogical implications because the teaching and learning processes might not be the same as if we were working with a 20 people course. We are more people and feedback may vary, activities are going to be different, and we're going to follow a different approach, which is going to be constructivist for you to develop autonomy and self-learning in order to be able to work with, that amount of people I've got for about 5 courses. And, you can imagine 30 people in each course. That's 150 essays or 150 pieces of homework that I need to get through. That's a lot, it's just insane. It's not doable. So we need to follow strategies for being able to cover everybody's needs. And that's why there is a variety of evidence, a variety of activities, assignments, tasks, projects for you to carry out and reach the learning objectives. This is the project that was included in the agenda of the program, because we also carry out research. Some of us teachers are researchers, and this is our line for doing research, which is teaching and learning processes, linguistics, apply linguistics to teaching and learning processes as well, and in strategy construction. These are the professors who worked collaboratively for designing the program of the course. It's changed throughout the years. This is the updated version for you people who are working online. So it suffered a couple of changes. It was edited for the purposes of working at a distance. This is the teacher's curriculum vitae. Well, some of you already know me. It's not very important, but I got a BA in English, I got a BA in French. I studied a specialization in teaching English to young learners. I got a master's degree in teaching English as a foreign language, and I got a PhD in language studies and applied linguistics. But if you have any further questions, you can let me know. This is the description of the program. I'm gonna ask you to read the program carefully. Yeah, read it carefully at home. Read the description. You will see that you need to design your own learning material. You need to design your own learning paths. You need to make decisions, solve problems. This is the procedure of the course. Please read it carefully by your own. Read the rationale, okay? The reasons why we decided to include this course for your learning. The highlighted section there, you can see learning to learn was the main purpose of the course. Read it carefully. I don't think we need to spend time here. The competences you ought to develop, elaborating and doing activities by your own, and how you need to integrate your portfolio. It's going to be an electronic portfolio for the evidence of your performance. Articulation of the access, but that's something you will need to read by your own, and then you can come up with your queries, doubts, suggestions, or recommendations. It's important, yeah. The theory, we're going to work by units. Those units emerge from Douglas Brown's work on strategies construction in a book called Strategies for Success. It is stated that the ideal language learner is systematic. It's a person who's organized and who's able to organize their own learning. That means that you need to be really systematic with language. Divide language, separate bunches, separate chunks, and recognize yourself in order to take advantage of your skills and work on your areas of opportunity. That, in other words, would be your weaknesses. Everybody has got weaknesses. You know? I do, you do, everybody does. And the idea is to recognize such areas of opportunity in order to develop the four skills of the language appropriately: listening, writing, reading, speaking, and sub skills such as grammar and vocabulary. So all the units are addressed to explore the possibilities you got for learning languages and all skills of the language. What kind of learner you are, discovering your learning styles, your personality types, exploring the brain hemispheres and their differences and their commonalities they share. Establishing goals for motivating yourself, keeping track of your own learning, the development of self-confidence in yourself by diminishing anxiety and feelings of frustration. Okay, how to deal with stress. And a good way to deal with the stress and diminishing anxiety is being organized. In other words, regarding strategies construction, to work on your metacognitive strategies. And then you will be able to make decisions and to learn to take risks, or, you know, to be really analytical. Then you have what is your kind of intelligence and how does your intelligence work? What can I do with these abilities I've got, and what will I be able to achieve regarding language when exploiting all my possibilities? Strategies for learning individually and for working in a collaborative fashion, that is socialization and how to work with groups in a collaborative manner. Strategies for taking tests. When you're sitting for a test, for example, a certification exam, there are certain strategies you need to follow. Learning how interference can take place and how to module, how to work in a subtle manner with your Spanish interferences. Sometimes it's good to go back to your mother tongue in order to comprehend and understand a foreign or a second language. But some others, you know, you need to trust your gut feeling and avoid interference between L1 and L2. So we're going to learn how that works. Yeah, and the differences between language learning and language acquisition might play a paramount role, and they are implied in learning how to separate languages. And finally, learning a second culture. Culture is language, language is culture, so we need to be open for cultural diversity, and we need to be prepared for you know, approaching a different ways of thinking and different understandings of language. You know, once you start learning languages, you need to start learning culture, and then it becomes multicultural, of course. A multicultural approach is the trendiest approach nowadays. This day and age, you cannot go and stick to a single one, but to be open to change, you know, you need to be really empathetic. So that's something we're gonna check together. For the teaching and learning processes, we are going to use strategies, to a certain extent, abilities that make up the umbrella of strategies, such as inference, prediction, mind maps, categorization, classification, the development of taxonomies for comparison, for association, for reflection to take place, creativity, self-regulation, self-evaluation, identity construction, strategy construction, evaluating your own learning, the enhancement of high order thinking skills, and of course, a formulation of new ideas, of new theory for the purposes of the course. Well, the teaching strategies are going to be basically the same methodologies, graphic designers and presentations, analogies, etc. Our resources are going to be online tools, educational platforms such as Eminus, Google Drive, Gmail account, institutional UV account, Canva for doing your tasks, Padlets, mind maps such as MindDomo or MindMeister, Kahoot, and a couple of YouTube, of course, the platform of YouTube is going to be useful. Here we are finally. The most important part of the program, the evaluation. Sorry, I needed to take a sip of water and yogurt. Well, this is the proposal. Oh, wait. Okay, this is the proposal. A journal. We're gonna follow a journal, 10%. 2 presentations. The presentations are gonna be a bit different. I don't think it makes a lot of sense to come here to online meetings and to present in front of your classmates who might be doing different things and they have their cameras off, and distraction, that takes place at every single moment at home. We cannot help it. It's normal. It happens on a daily basis. So it would be better for you to video record your presentations, upload your presentations to YouTube, discuss the presentations with your classmates, and participate in forums where the link of your presentation is there. So this is work, it's worked a lot previously in my own experience, and it's more meaningful than working in a synchronic manner. I think this is more meaningful. It takes more time, but in the end, it bears fruit for your learning. I will let you know the procedure, of course, eventually. Then see, you have vocabulary flashcards, 10%, and vocabulary chart, 10%, 20%. 2 response papers. Those are academic essays, academic pieces of writing. 10% each, that is 20%. Dynamics in class, which is going to be assignments, homework, notes from the class. Okay, I'm going to explain that in detail in a couple of minutes. 10%. An observation, well, hardly ever are we going to be able to go and observe in a classroom because of the situation we are suffering at the moment. But you will be able to observe famous characters, from television, films, or series. in order to identify their learning styles and their learning strategies and to come up with a definition for each. I think that could be a possibility, and then observation would work. Finally, a friendly final quiz, which is a summary of all the content of the course at the very end. Yeah, that's the proposal. But I'm gonna share with you another possibility we came up with. But before that, you need to know that you need to attend 80% of the sessions. We are meeting once a week, you know, or fortnightly, depending on the progress of your tasks. We're going to work online, and that means we need to follow a mixed blended learning, you know, synchronic and asynchronous meetings. That means that sometimes we're going to work on this platform, Microsoft Teams, sometimes with Zoom in order to meet up online, but some other weeks we're going to work on specific tasks by email and on the Eminos platform and on Google Drive as well. So it's going to be a mixture of both synchronic and asynchronous work. These are the sources of information. This is the basis of the course, Strategies for Success, Douglas Brown. You can find the book online. It's downloaded to Eminos, you know, sorry, it's uploaded to Eminos. It's uploaded to Google Drive's folder called Readings. And this is another of the books we are focusing on. Well, it's a piece of research. Language learning strategies, what every teacher and what every student should know. It's also there, you know, if you go to Eminos, I'm going to show you in a minute where it is. And you have more literature for you to complement your work, you know, from Ellis to Celce Murcia and Wallace. So you have all the literature we employ in order to design the syllabus. You know, it was part of the syllabus design and for the curriculum design as well. Okay, now I'm gonna show you the proposal. This is the proposal for working online. It all depends on your development and, you know, your performance regarding the tasks. The journal could change, you know, we need to be ready for change because we're suffering changes on all the time regarding the ways we are working. The journal could be 20% and the dynamics in class could be 20%. It depends on your development, and that would be the same as 100%. But my first proposal is the one I told you, including the observation and including the quiz. Changes might take place. Of course, it all depends on your development, as I told you. Okay. You need to get the 60% of the percentage in order to pass the course. I know you want to do it, you don't want to resit it. Would be, you know, really awful to go and have to sit the course again. To sit for the course next term might mean to waste time, you know, to be more slowly regarding your BA path. So I strongly suggest working in a committed fashion so that you can succeed. Okay. Okay. Here I am again. Now, I'm going to explain to you. Each of the evidence which are going to be taken into account for evaluation in a presentation. Okay, it's a PowerPoint presentation. But before explaining the vocabulary chart and the journal and the flashcards and the dynamics in class, I would like to share with you the platforms we are working on so that you can get familiar with them. Okay, so first and foremost, I want to show Eminus platform. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. Eminus platform. Just give me a sec. Eminus or E minus, you know, some people might say. Eminus platform. No, this is the one. Wait a sec. You know, I'm struggling with technology, the digital divide, but here I am. Okay, there you go. Can you see Eminus now? Yes, you can, right? Yeah, you with me, guys?
Yes.
Ah, perfect, thank you.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, this is Eminus. Here, you know, inbox, you will be able to check the work you need to do. I'm gonna be sending you emails weekly for you to know what you need to do, okay? So you need to be on the alert and check the inbox. I will also send you the same emails to your Gmail accounts. You will see in a moment. So what you need to do whenever you want to work on Eminus is to go to content. Okay, you're gonna check inbox and you say, okay, I need to do this for this date, for tomorrow, for the day after tomorrow. Okay, and then you go to content. There in the content, you can see that the course is divided into specific units. First, you have a couple of lines for the introduction of the course. Welcome to the course. This is going to be a platform for discussion, reflection, and storaging your evidence of work. We will work both with Eminus and Google Drive platforms. You will be able to revise the content and details of the course here to this platform. Consequently, this is the first instruction of the course. Consequently, send me an email to cruzglicerio@gmail.com and give me your full name, ID number, this is your matricula, name of the course, ID of the course, which is the ID of the course. This is the ID of the course, you know. 30951. And the schedule you got for the course, whether from 8 to 10, from 10 to 12, well, of course, from 10 to 12, right? You gotta do it because I have 5 different groups and I need to know the one you belong to. And finally, well, I do hope that this learning experience can be meaningful for your professional development and can play a paramount role in your training through your BA studies. And I know it will, I'm sure. Then you have a welcome video for the introduction of the course. It's in Spanish, so you should watch it. You just need to play there, you know. It's just dropping to say hello. Okay, well, we don't need to watch it now. It's quite embarrassing. I'd rather you watch it by your own at home. And then you have, here you have program and action plan of the course. This is what I just show you. This is what we just revised together. The program of the course, the proposal for evaluation in both online and mixed approaches, blended learning, flipped classroom, and finally, the university's schedule, the university's calendar. which is very important for you to check which days we have in order to work. According to my figures, we got 11 weeks to work, but we're gonna work 10 weeks because the final one is for the final quiz and the final evaluation of the course. So we got, as a whole, 10 weeks to work together. Okay? Here you have the files you need to download and organize in a folder by your own. You need to be organized from the very beginning. And then you have the division, the separation of the course, the structure of the course, general content, and all the units we explore in the program. Remember, from Unit 1 to Unit 9. Finally, you got a final survey. This is going to be at the end. Don't worry about it yet. It's going to be for my feedback at the end of the course. Leave it out. Here you have qualitative rubrics for evaluation. You can explore them. And a picture of your future context, which is the language school. Okay, School of Languages there. So what you need to do is to go to content first. So you click it there, you go to content, and you will see a description of autonomy and self-direct learning, you know, the objectives of the course, the instructions you need to follow for the structure of the course. You need to separate your work and evidence of development. The most important thing is that you need to send me an email in order to join the folders that we are working on and to know the evaluation criteria, rubrics, etc. Additionally, you need to manage 3 different Word files throughout the course. One, which is going to be named Dynamics from class Cliserio, Dynamics from class Jose, okay, for example, or vocabulary chart Maria Fernanda, or e-journal Cliserio. I'm going to explain each of them in a moment, okay? We won't have 14 weeks anymore. No, 10 weeks. I'm going to change that, by the way, okay? It says dynamics from class. You will save task by task. You do periodically, including homework assignments and the notes you take from an online session. The vocabulary chart is about recording 10 words per week, and you need to upload your charts weekly to the corresponding folder to Google Drive. I will show you how. Your e-journal, you need to write a journal entry per week, every single Thursday as well. You need to include certain information in your entries, which are going to be divided into paragraphs that give response to what did I do, how did I do it, what did I learn, how did I feel, what would I have liked to learn and I didn't, and why. The journal can be written in Spanish or in English. It's up to you, you know. If you feel more comfortable in Spanish, it's okay. It's just for your development. I'm gonna show you the folders where you need to upload this evidence in a moment. And then you have the program, okay? Then you have the program. Again, the evaluation again. And the sources of information. At the end, you have some of the elements for being evaluated: dynamics in class, vocabulary chart, journal, and flashcards. Well, this is just the explanation, and as you will see, the delivery date is gonna be in December, okay? In December. Because the place where I am checking this weekly is gonna be Google Drive. This is gonna be for the end, at the end of the course. Okay. Here you have, but I'm gonna change the dates here because it's not 15 or 17 anymore. You know, it's September 29th and October the 1st. October the 1st. But anyways, I'm gonna change the dates. Okay, once you explore the content, you need to read carefully. You go back to Unit 1. Let's go to Unit 1. Unit 1. Here you are. And this is the first unit that introduces the notion of learning styles and personality types. You have the instructions here. You need to read carefully. What do successful students do to learn English very well? What is the strategy? Etc. Okay. Then you continue and you have task number 1. Read carefully. Take a minute to analyze and answer this question. What is language? Number 2, write a definition by your own after analyzing. Number 3, provide with an example that can be written in English or Spanish. Finally, save this activity in a Word file named Dynamics in Class Cliserio. Write the date and the hour at the top so that I can know when, at what time you did it. Okay, write the date and the hour at the top. The following information might be helpful for you, but you need to investigate by your own. This is Saussure's work, you know. It was an authority regarding linguistics. Langue, parole. You need to investigate by your own, but make sure you provide the source of information where you took the data from. Finally, write a paragraph for each concept and explain it in your own words. And participate in the forum named What is Language? You need to follow the instructions of the forum. You go to forums, and you will see there is this forum called What is Language? You click it there. You click it there, What is Language? And you will have to follow the instructions. Investigate on the web the differences among the following Saussure's concepts. Langue, parole. You can write the definition in English or Spanish, but make sure you include the source of information where you revise it. Write a definition in your own words to answer the question, what is language? Give an example for each of the 3 concepts, because we only have one in English, which is language. Not in Spanish, which is a different story. Number 4, comment on 2 different classmates' definitions and give them feedback by stating your point of view. Okay, and then you go back. You also need to participate in forum, in welcome forum, in order to know your interests regarding English. Oh my. This is the one. Let's go back here. Unit 1. Wait a sec. It's very slow, you know. Oh my. Here it is. Unit 1. Discovering your learning styles. And okay, you carry out activity 1.1, and then you go for activity 1.2. You read the instructions carefully and you carry out the exercise. Learning strategies are, etc. Analyze the definitions above. Here, you read them and you analyze them. Write a definition in your own words. Give an example of learning strategy. Save the task in Dynamics in Class Word file. Write the date and hour at the top of it. I will let you know the moment you will have to send this file with all the activities, which is going to be in December. But you need to upload this activity to the corresponding Google Drive folder. I will let you know. And finally, well, the activity for discussion here in the form I just showed you. Okay, what is language? So once you have already carried out these 3 activities and participated in the 2 forums, number 1 and number 2, the welcome forum and what is language, well, you will have to send me an email. You will have to send me an email to Google Drive, cruzcliserio@gmail.com. I'm gonna show you an example of an email. This should be an example. Aha. Some people have already done this, including your name, full name, ID number, name of the course, ID number of the course, and the schedule on Monday and Thursday from 10 to 12. Okay, remember, I've got different groups, so you need to include the schedule. And once you have done this, well, I'm gonna take your email. I'm gonna take your email this way. And you're gonna join the folders in the following manner. Oh, no, this is not the one. Oh my, let's screw it up, sorry. Oh, this one. Oh, I got the email. Now I'm gonna share it. It's loading. Wait, it's very slow. Let's suppose this is your email. And here you are. Welcome. Welcome. Okay, and now you will have access to the folders we are sharing. This is not your group. Your group is this one. This is the group. And let's explore. You're going to have access to evaluation. The evaluation folder is for storaging and keeping track of your learning. You will see there is one Excel file where I usually keep track of your learning in an individual manner. You can see here are your names. Wait, it's loading. It's loading. Hold on. Oh. It's very slow. Okay, here it is. No? Doesn't want to? Yeah. Be patient, you know. Digital divide as usual. Okay. Andonaegi, Gaspar, Judith, Yvonne, Victor. We have a Stephanie, Janet, Giovanni, Tonatzin, Angel, Lucia, Joali, Jocelyn, Kira, Alan, we got Eldridge, Daniela, Frida, we got Jose, Noemi, Javier, Jose, Valeria, Angel, Luciana. We also have Jose, Luis, Marelli, Maria Fernanda, and well, thank God we are 27. Most of my groups are 30 or 32 people. Oh my gosh. Well, then you go here, you will see here, we have the evidence of your work. Journal 10%, presentation on cultures 10%, flashcards 10%, vocabulary chart 10%, presentations on categorization 10%, one response paper, another response paper, dynamics in class, observation, and a final quiz, okay, to make up 100%. So let's suppose that Judith it's got 8 here, and then it's got 9 here, and then it's got 5, and it's got 7, and it's got 10. Okay, so we have a result here at the end. You know, this might be the result. Of course, this is not true. It's just an example of how we are recording your tasks. Okay. There is also a attendance notes. You know, attendance. Here you can see we're gonna have 10 weeks for work, so we're not gonna have the weeks we had expected, but it's gonna be adapted. You know, there are some strategies we are about to follow. This file is only for revision, okay? Do not modify anything. Be respectful with your classmates, with yourself, and with my work. It's just for revision. I'm gonna close this. Okay, and you can find evaluation rubrics for every single piece of evidence you provide with. The evaluation is going to be focused on the criteria set here, okay? Sufficiency, relevancy, suitability, coherence, cohesion, etc. Specific rubrics for presentations, specific rubrics for the journal, specific rubrics for your essays, etc. It's not that I'm going to grade you by following my gut feeling and my subjectivity. No, I'm a professional, or at least I try to. And I try to be a professional that I evaluate in an objective manner, objectively. Okay, so I use scoring rubrics for evaluating your tasks. Promise. That's going to be the dynamics. Now, let's go back. If you go to readings, the folder readings, you will be able to revise all the readings we need. Oxford, Brown, and metacognitive strategies. So all the readings you're gonna need are here. You can check them. You have extra practice material for practicing by your own. Yeah, so this is for you to work in an autonomous way. The welcome video that you just checked there to Eminus, a guidebook of strategies I designed, the program of the course and the calendar of the UB, and as well as the calendar we've got regarding the evaluation. Check it by your own. Guidebook of strategies. This is a guidebook we're going to need for the course as well. And the most important folder, evidence. All your assignments, your tasks, your projects, etc. So when you carry out your first activity 1.1, remember Eminus 1.1. Dynamics from class Cliserio. Write the date and the hour at the top of your task. You got it in Word, in a Word file. Okay, a Word file. What you need to do is to go to the corresponding folder, Dynamics in Class. You click it. And you create a new folder with your name. You click it right, new folder. And you write Cliserio Antonio Cruz Martinez. And this is gonna be my file. I click it twice, Cliserio, and I have my Word file which says the specific name. I just put it here. And here you are. And here you are. This is my first task. Okay, ready to be checked. I'm gonna be checking this weekly. Dynamics in class, vocabulary chart, journal, and the flashcards. Okay. Well, I'm gonna delete this because this is not actually going to be taken into account. Okay. The same with your vocabulary chart. You go here. Week number 1, you create your folder and you place your activity there. The same with the journal, the same with the flashcards. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 are gonna be workout weekly, every single Thursday. Okay, every single Thursday. We're not gonna be meeting online every single session. No, it depends on your development. That's why you need to work autonomously on 1, 2, 3, and 4 and place your evidence there weekly, every single Thursday. Okay, good. Now let me go back. Oh no, this is stop sharing. Stop sharing. Yeah. You following me? Yeah. Okay. Now I'm gonna share a presentation with you all. A presentation that explains. What is the presentation, by the way? That explains the evidence you need to provide with. Well, yeah, let's do the presentation. Yeah, let's go for. Oh no, well, no, not really. Yeah, why not? Yeah, we still have time. Let's go for the presentation. Hold on. And then your questions. There you have. Ready? Yes, you're ready. You can take a sip of water, you know, or you can have your breakfast. Yeah. There you go. Pay attention by all means. Pay close attention. I don't want you to be lost. This is the course Strategies for Success, Strategies for Learning a Foreign Language. Yeah. My name is Cliserio, remember. You can call me Cliserio. Do not call me teacher. No. Don't call me teacher. Call me, well, if you want to, you can call me professor. But call me Cliserio. I'm learning your names already, you know. You just need to learn one, mine, Cliserio. It's not difficult. It's not that you find Cliserios everywhere, right? No, it's very difficult. But it's only one name, you know, so you can call me Cliserio. Check this slide. Check it out. It's a very interesting one. It says, underline the word that does not collocate. Don't do it. It's just for your reflection. And then says, complete the following sentences with one word. Blue is my favorite color. Cliseria and Carolina love playing tennis, basketball, football. Brown is my favorite color. Black is my favorite color. Or red is my favorite color. We have a bunch of options to fill in the blanks. And the same might happen in the above situation I'm providing with. Large theme might be the one that does not fit. But that depends on the background you got, because there is no answer. There is no right and wrong. As a matter of fact, it depends on the context. And the important thing here is to bear in mind that every single student has got different experiences in life, and that they have been through different situations regarding language, which makes them make decisions in a different fashion, differently. Your reactions vary from student to student because your background is completely distinct. If I ask you to pronounce the following words, some of you might be able to do it accurately. Pursue, persuade. Archive, achieve. But how you got the answers and how you got the correct ways to move your muscles and to come up with sounds from your stomach depends a lot on the training you had regarding language. And that's the reason why learning strategies are very important, because they let you know your specificities, your characteristics as learners, and that is gonna cover every single skill you need to develop, because you are likely to work on the things you need to instead of wasting your time. If you need to go to phonetics, you will have these strategies, but if you need to work on writing and coherence, you will get the ones appropriately. So it all depends on students' variety and students' multicultural experiences. The first task you're going to carry out is about language. What is language? Parts of the speech and developing autonomy is going to be the focus of the introduction. You need to know what language is just for a single important reason. If you know what language is, you're likely to discover why you're studying a BA in English, regardless of the objectives of becoming translators, becoming teachers, becoming researchers, becoming writers, whatsoever. You need to know what is language, because language is going to be the main vehicle for your everyday development, for your jobs, you know, for your area of expertise. Language is going to be your sword, you know, as a metaphor, of course. So what is language? In English, we got 3 dimensions of language. Well, human beings have got 3 dimensions of language, but we only have a word in English, which is language, language and language. However, you know, according to Saussure and his linguistics theory, we could discriminate those dimensions into langue, and parole. That's what you need to investigate in order to situate yourself in your BA studies and to know why you're interested in language. Might be a door that you have not already opened, you know. So this course also aims at self-recognition. You will see that the different dimensions have to do with a concepts that might emerge from your research. Language learning, language acquisition, foreign language, second language, mother tongue, L2, target language in the middle. So it's important to do the first task, then continue to learning strategies. We'll define learning strategies after acknowledging what language is, and we'll provide with a couple of definitions to create our definition. Strategy comes from the Greek strategia, and it was employed for purposes of war. You know, people who really wanted to fight and follow specific plans, behaviors, or steps to defeat their enemy. So the word estrategia, of course, developed, evolved, and became popular among learning and other branches. And of course, it has to do with behavior, cognition, psychological affairs, sociological affairs, and with your brain work and with your emotions. So the affective domain is also present in strategy construction. Here you have a couple of examples of what students refer to when they have got the idea of a strategy. Doing exercises online, or listening to music, or writing a journal for expressing emotions, or attending a private lessons, or working in teams for socializing questions and queries, etc. Now, this was just an introduction. Your roles in the course are gonna be the following ones. You need to work both through Eminus and Google Drive. You will need a Gmail account, okay? Whenever you decide to send me the email to Gmail, you need a Gmail account. You will have to use an online dictionary, Webster or Cambridge, you decide. And you will need to record 3 files: vocabulary chart, dynamics in class, a journal, and also flashcards. You will also identify your court. Well, that's going to be a process. You know, the moment we come back to face-to-face lessons, we'll be able to discuss about the characteristics of your generation. And the objectives of the course can be found in the Eminus platform to identify how you perceive language learning strategies, to explore the way you constructed your own strategies before university and once you enrolled university, and to understand representative elements, things in common regarding ways of learning. That's going to be helpful for socializing and working in teams. Okay, this is the content. These are 12 units, but indeed, we are just going to cover 9 units because we are working online. This is the evaluation criteria. Again, journal, presentations, flashcards, vocabulary chart, response papers, dynamics in class, observation, and final quiz. Now, let's explain each. Dynamics in class refer to notes from the classroom, that is, from the meetings we have. Activities in class, activities in the Eminus platform, and homework and tasks, assignments, okay, which are going to be very specific and I'm gonna send them to you weekly by email, both Eminos and Gmail. The vocabulary chart is gonna be stored weekly, every single week. So in the end, we will have 10 sheets for the vocabulary chart because we have got 10 weeks. How many words do you need to record per week? 10 words. This is just an example. You can be creative and you can do it the way you wish. But what you need to include in your vocabulary chart is the word you need to learn, hazy for example, the part of the speech it belongs to, it's an adjective, and one example sentence for remembering the meaning of the word. Has to be a meaningful example. My vision is getting hazy, and then I will remember that hazy has to do with my vision. This is just an example, but you will decide the way you want to create and design your very own vocabulary chart. Okay, the words can be taken from this class, from the English class, from TV, from series, from cartoons, from films, wherever. But they need to be new words for you, the words that you really need to learn and you really wish to. Come up with meaningful example sentence, please. You need to save each of your vocabulary chart entries with the following form. Vocabulary chart, Cliserio, week 1. Then vocabulary chart, Cliserio, week 2, until we get to week 3. You need to upload your vocabulary chart sheets weekly, every single week on Thursday. Okay, where? Well, to the file called vocabulary chart, which is to go, you can find it in Google Drive. Okay, good. Now the journal. The journal is gonna be carried out weekly on Thursday as well. The same as the dynamics in class, the same as the vocabulary chart. The journal is gonna be delivered every single Thursday to the corresponding folder called journal. It says it has to be divided into paragraphs. You need to carry out one entry per week on Thursday. Consider the following questions. You don't need to ask and answer questions, no. It's just for guiding your writing. Remember, it's divided into paragraphs. What you did, how you felt, what you learned, what you didn't learn, and what you would have liked to learn. What you would have liked to learn. And the reasons. You don't need to write the questions. You just need to divide your entries into paragraphs. How many lines does a paragraph have? Well, it's got for about between 5 and 8 lines, you know? So it depends on you. But you need to include the answers. Well, not the answers. You need to include the elements I provided with there. It could be a sheet long, half a sheet. It depends on you. Okay? But remember, this is gonna be evaluated 10%. Okay, sufficiency. Okay, suitability, clarity, insightfulness. So you need to spend time in your journal. It's important. This is a representation of your files. Dynamics in class, journal, vocabulary chart. If possible, you're going to design your flashcards you have two options. You could do it in Word files, Excel files, or PowerPoint for your flashcards. Or you are going to be able to do it online with an application. Yeah, ReadLang or any other application for online flashcards. You will have that possibility. I will let you know weekly the kinds of flashcards you need to do, okay? So they are specific and you need to wait for instructions. Homework, as a summary, create a Google Drive account, send me an email, ask for joining the folders, give me the information I ask you to include in the email, read the program carefully, and then come up with suggestions or questions. Create a new folder with your name in the following folders: flashcards, vocabulary chart, dynamics in class, and journal. Do your first entry, include how you felt in this session, whether nervous, anxious, at a loss, frustrated, happy, enthusiastic, positive, I don't know. Record the 10 first words in your vocabulary chart from this class, from television, from a book, from the English lessons. You decide, but they need to be new words for you. Yeah, for example, paramount. Paramount is an adjective, and you write it in your chart, and you say, the first session was paramount for my professional development. And then, well, you understand that paramount is an adjective and that it works for describing things or events. First, note on the dynamics in class file, the 3 activities from Eminus 1.1 and 1.2. You also need to participate in the Welcome Forum, remember, and What is Language Forum, but follow the process, follow the procedures. Potential implications, we still have time, yeah. Well, the potential implications of getting to know yourself, to self-recognize, and to use a mirror effect between you and your classmates might be beneficial for addressing your learning not only during your BA studies, but through life. This is a lifelong learning process, and strategy construction plays a paramount role for doing so. So I welcome you. This is an introduction of the course. I'm recording this meeting. It's being recorded. It's gonna be uploaded to Eminus Unit 1. You can check the presentation again. You can check the instructions again. And if you didn't understand something, I'm sure that if you watch this again, you will solve your queries in a clearer manner. So every single session we got is going to be recorded and uploaded to Eminus for you to revise it again and once again. It doesn't matter if you don't understand clearly my English. Eventually you will get used to it. And I'm sure that, you know, listening to the presentations once they are recorded is going to be a helpful exercise for practicing with your listening, for practicing with your speaking, for checking pronunciation, etc. So I think, following the lessons in this way is going to be beneficial for you. And then you can ask your classmates. It will be nice to create a WhatsApp group for you students, only students who support themselves, who solve problems, you know, who are critical thinkers and help each other. If you didn't understand one thing for the vocabulary chart and you post it there to WhatsApp, maybe a classmate can help. So try to help each other, try to create community. Well, let's get this started. These are the references: Oxford, And this is my email address, cruzcliserio@gmail.com. Okay. Now, if there is something you really need to know and you didn't understand it because it was in English, you can give me a ring. Okay. Call me. Call me. Don't text me because I don't have time to do it. I have many other classes. But if you call me, I will speak to you in Spanish. Okay. And that could solve the problem. So you call me and we solve the situation today. There is my mobile number, 2288-522245. And that's it. Okay. I think it was crystal, it was a summary of the dynamics of the course. We are not meeting on Tuesday and Thursday. No, we are not meeting online every single week. It depends on your development. And I will let you know by email whether we are meeting or not. Okay, one day before, well, for you to organize your time. And I will be sending you emails weekly, both Eminus inbox and Gmail, for you to know what you need to do and when the deadlines are. Okay, so due times are going to be important for delivering your tasks. Now, I'm getting really, really tired. No, it's high time you speak up your minds. Let me know your questions, please. It could be in English or Spanish. Marifer.
Profe, entonces la tarea del vocabulario y el diario se entregan este jueves de esta semana.
Precisely, that's correct. Thank you very much. That is correct. On Thursday, this is going to be week number 1. The first 10 words, the first entry of your journal, and the first dynamics in class. Okay, 3 elements. Thank you, Marifer. That's correct. Lucia. Lucy.
Sí, tengo una duda acerca de en este caso el journal. Va a ser en un solo documento, o sea, cada párrafo va a ser de una semana y en ese mismo documento en la segunda semana, en el mismo documento el segundo párrafo y así.
That's correct. Yeah, you just need to write week 1, entry 1, entry 2, date, and you write the date and the hour in a single file. You know why? Because you can edit the same file in the folder. If you use a Gmail account, that's, those are the benefits of using folders, that you can edit your own file.
Ok, y en el caso del el vocabulary chart, bueno, word chart, este sí va a ser en diferentes documentos. El primer documento, las primeras 10 palabras, segundo documento.
That's correct. Excellent, okay. Lucia. That's correct. You are totally right. Thank you. Yvonne. Yeah, Yvonne. Yvonne.
Yo tengo una pregunta. Es sobre las preguntas del language and pattern. Sobre los ejemplos. O sea, ya lo había visto y ya lo investigué, pero los ejemplos no los logro entender.
The examples. Which examples are you referring to?
¿Oh?
What examples, Yvonne?
Hay un documento en actividades que dice que demos ejemplos sobre esos 3 conceptos.
Well, you need to, once you know the definition for each, give an example of a habla. What is habla? Give an example. Or give an example of what is lenguaje. Or give an example of what is idioma. Okay?
Okay. Gracias.
Yeah. Good. Good. Thank you, Yvonne. Janet Montserrat.
Well, I don't understand where we have to send the vocabulary table and the journal.
I'm sorry, but I can barely listen to you. Maybe you need to use your microphone a little bit closer.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was saying that I didn't understand where we have to stamp the vocabulary table.
Where you need to place the vocabulary chart. That's what you didn't get.
Yes.
It has to be in the Google Drive folder called vocabulary chart. I think it was number 2. Yeah. But in order to join the folders, you need to send me an email first. Have you already? Have you done that?
No, yes.
Well, first you need to send me an email, include the information I told you to, and then you will be able to check the folders, evidence, and then after evidence, you will go to vocabulary chart. You create a new folder with your name there, and you include your task in there.
The journal too, right?
I'm so sorry. It's very difficult for me to hear you. I can't hear you.
The journal too.
No, I can't. Why don't you write it in the chat?
Okay, I will.
Thank you. Sorry, but I can hear you very well. Yvonne? Yeah, Yvonne? No. Well, Marifer?
Profe, tengo otra pregunta. ¿Tenemos una hora en específico para mandar las actividades el jueves?
No. It could be at any time. In the morning, in the afternoon, or in the evening.
Y también, no entendí muy bien lo que vamos a hacer en la carpeta de Dynamics. Vamos a anotar como las cosas importantes de la clase, esas serían las notas de clase. Y las activities, nuestras tareas en general, ahí les vamos a subir.
The activities that I ask you to do per week. For example, for this week, activity 1.1 and activity 1.2. Yeah, okay. What you did, how you did it, those are notes from the class.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Yvonne? No? You raising your hand? No, you're not. Are you there? No. Janet, maybe you can send your question by the chat, in the conversation section.
Yeah, I will do it.
Did you? No. Anybody else who wants to participate? Ask a question. Valeria, yeah.
Hi, teacher. I have a question about the video.
Yeah.
Where can I send you the link?
The link? But what video are you referring to? I'm a little bit lost. Valeria? You mean the presentations?
Ay, perdón, es que se me traba mucho mi internet.
Don't worry, that's digital, right?
¿En dónde puedo enviarle el link del video de presentación?
But I don't think I'm following you. What video for presentation are you referring to?
Tenemos que subir a YouTube, me parece, o algo así.
No, but that's gonna be later. No, it's not.
Okay.
No. I was getting scared. No. No, Vale. No, Valeria. You just need to wait. Yeah, no videos for this week, no presentations for this week. No. I will let you know with time. Okay, not for this week. For this week, you only need to carry out activity 1.1, activity 1.2, what is language, participate in the introduction forum, and what is language forum. And of course, every single week, you will have to work on your vocabulary chart, your journal, and the flashcards. No flashcards for this week, but for the next week, okay? Thank you, Valeria. Thank you very much. Now, let me read your question. The journal is the same day as the vocabulary chart. Yes, that's right. Thursdays. Yes, Janet, I'm sorry I didn't hear you very well because of technology. It's, you know, quite common for us to be struggling with technology and the digital divide. But hopefully we have the resources to solve our problems. Okay, on Thursday, both dynamics in class, vocabulary chart, journal entries. Journal entries. Journal, sorry, my bad. Spelling mistake there, you know, dyslexic. And also flashcards. Not for this week, but for the next flashcards. Thursdays. And that's why we're going to organize our own times. Okay, and that's why we are not having online sessions, synchronic sessions every single Thursday or every single Tuesday, because it depends a lot on your work. I will send you an email to let you know when we are meeting here. Okay. Valeria, do you have any other question? You're raising your hand?
No, no. No, por ahora no. Gracias, es que mi internet está muy trabado. Yo creo que se picó por ahí solito, pero gracias.
Well, I understand. Thank you. Anybody else? Anybody else? Yeah, Fernanda, Marifer.
The vocabulary chart is the same that flashcards?
No, not at all. It's different. It's different. You will watch the video again and you will see that I explain that the vocabulary chart is a chart and the flashcards have to do with designing your own flashcards in Excel, in Word, in PowerPoint, or by using an online application. But I will let you know the next week when we start designing flashcards.
Thank you.
Thank you, Marifer. Thank you very much for your question. Lucía.
Sí, solo para aclarar, perdón, acerca del, las dynamics in the class, son solamente las actividades, no es que tengamos que hacer notas sobre esta clase, solamente se refiere a las actividades. ¿O
no, both, you know, both are included. The activities and the notes from the class, from online sessions, okay, both. Because this is proof that you were here, that you actually participated actively, and that explain the process you follow in order to learn. So both are important. Notes from the class and activities there to Eminus. I'm going to be sending you an email weekly for you to know what you need to do, the expectations from unit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, etc.
Okay.
Thank you, Lucia. What do you prefer, Lucia or Rosario or Lucia del Rosario?
Lucia, está bien.
Lucia. Yeah.
Sí, gracias.
Yvonne? Thank you, Lucia. I can hear you now, huh?
Tengo otra pregunta. ¿Podemos decorar el documento como nosotros quieramos y lo hacemos en Word?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, feel free to be creative, you know, this is your time to succeed. Yeah, Yvonne, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Yvonne, yeah, of course. Any more questions? Alan, yeah, Alan.
So, from today, we must start the journal?
Yeah, that's right. This is week 1.
Okay. But I mean, from today until Thursday. Okay.
That's right.
Okay.
The deadline is on Thursday.
Okay.
Perfect. Good, Alan. So we're starting working today. That's right. Anybody else?
Can you hear me now?
Oh, Janet, I'm feeling awfully bad because I can't hear you. You know, it's your mic. I'm sure it's your mic. You need to move it a little bit more to you, closer to your voice. Can you? Sorry, Janet. It's your microphone. Or you could write it. I can read you here. I can read you here, dear Janet. Anybody else?
Si las notas de clase las ponemos en una libreta, ¿podemos sacarle foto y subirlas al documento o tenemos que transcribirlo al documento de Word?
Well, it would be nice to have it on Word because sometimes your handwriting is not very clear. But if you got proper pictures and it's totally clear, and you know, you need to be empathetic with my eyes. Yeah, because sometimes it's very difficult and I can't see, and you know what? I cannot make notes, but I can accept it as long as it is visible. Okay.
Gracias.
Yeah, thank you. The journal, is it only for the class or we can include you? No, it's about, of course, it's related to your life. Yeah, it's related to your life, but it's more focused on learning processes. Okay, it's not about your relationships, although it is. Yeah, it's got a bound. Yeah, but try to focus on learning, which is the most important thing. If you want to include things about your life, they are welcome, as long as they are related to your learning, okay? If there was an event that was meaningful for you and it had an impact on your mood and your mood as a result had an impact on your learning, you need to include it. You know, that's, you following me, Janet? Yes. Anybody else? Alan. Yeah, Alan. No?
No, I didn't.
Ah, sorry, I was checking your hand there, you know, raising. No, no, no.
Sorry.
No. Well, if we don't have any more comments, questions, or queries, I'll let you know that I'm uploading this video to Eminos. It's gonna be in Unit 1. Remember to work in order. Yeah, there is one raising their hand. Okay, go ahead. Somebody is raising.
Yeah. Sorry. I mean.
Yeah, Luis.
Please. We have to send you an email or no? I don't understand very well that part.
Yeah, you need to send me an email. You should watch this video again. You need to send me an email to cruzcliserio@gmail.com in order to join the folders we got to Google Drive. Include your name, include your group, include the timetable and your ID number.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Luis. Luis Javier, right?
Right.
Perfect. Thank you. Perfect, Luis. Yeah? Somebody's there raising their hand? I don't know who that person is. No? Well, okay. Well, it was a pleasure. It was really nice to meet you, well, online. Remember to use a picture for your profile. It would be nice for you to turn off the cameras once in a while, just because I'm very romantic and I want people to be with me when I'm talking to. It might be important for, you know, the affected domain. Well, you know, for the sake of education. But if not, a picture might be enough, okay? Thank you for your time. Thank you for your efforts. Welcome to the course, and I'm sure you are going to learn. I'm pretty sure about it, okay? Thank you. Have a lovely day. We'll keep in touch. I'm looking forward to reading your emails and then I'm gonna be sending you an email tomorrow, today or tomorrow, okay? Giving you instructions again of what you need to do for this week. We'll meet up next week, hopefully, but I will let you know and I will send you the invitation the same as I did today by Microsoft Teams. Does that sound good to you?
Yes.
Yeah, good. Try to support each other. Try to help your classmates. I strongly suggest creating a WhatsApp group where everybody is included, okay? Only students, because you communicate in a very different and better way. Just for students, and if you got any questions, you can help each other. So try to create community, okay? Try to be empathetic with your classmates. Help each other. Marily?
Hablando de eso, maestro, unos compañeros tienen problemas para accesar a la reunión.
Oh my dog. Well, I'm gonna try to solve the situation, but that's gonna happen, you know. That's gonna happen. That's working with technology. But you know, we have potential solutions. You know what? The presentation and the session is gonna be uploaded to Eminus. Thank God. Thank technology.
Okay, yo les aviso.
Thank you, Marieli. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm referring to. Good, Marieli. Thank you. There is one God as well. Well, thank you very much for your time. We'll keep in touch. I will see you around. Welcome to the jungle. Okay?
Gracias,
Bye.
profe. Hasta luego.
Gracias, hasta luego.
Bye.
That was a great reference.
Bye.
I'm sorry.
Bye. 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 Thank you for your time.
Bye.